The ocean is a beautiful place, it's home to millions of different creatures and has shown us that if your mind can imagine it, then big, small, creepy or cute, chances are that something similar probably lives down there. And this has left us with many forms of life that never fail to amaze, either with their looks or their mind-blowing abilities. So here are 5 truly bizarre and fascinating sea creatures that do just that. Nicknamed the unicorn of the sea, the pyrosome is easily one of the strangest and most fascinating things in the ocean. Individually, they are only a few millimeters in size and are known as zoids, a bioluminescent, pale bluey-green creature that lives near the surface of the water. But when they form together, they create what's known as a pyrosome, a strange jelly-like tube consisting of hundreds or thousands of these zoids that is classed as its own superorganism. This bioluminescent pyrosome can vary in length from as small as 1 centimeter to an enormous 18 meters with a 2-meter wide opening. That's large enough to swallow up a full-grown human. But despite them looking strange, they are in fact very fragile and delicate and all work together in perfect harmony. As each individual member takes in water, they filter it for food and then flush the water out of the back of themselves to the inside of the tube. All of them doing this creates a propulsion that is used to help the pyrosome move through the ocean. Despite being relatively friendly and soft, in 2013 an unfortunate penguin was found dead inside one of these organisms. It had either swam through and got stuck or was already dead and got picked up by the colony of zoids. But it showed researchers that they must be pretty damn strong for the tube not to have broken with the penguin inside. The pyrosome is a true master of teamwork and would be a fascinating thing to witness firsthand in the ocean. Stygiomedusa gigantea. This next one is a very strange looking creature. It's called the Stygiomedusa gigantea and is an extremely rare and mysterious species of giant deep sea jellyfish that has only ever been seen 115 times since its first sighting in 1901. As its name suggests, the gigantea is pretty big, growing to a meter in diameter with thick 6-meter long tentacles, and they are thought to be one of the largest invertebrate predators in the deepest part of the Earth's ocean. In 2015, a video was released by Philip Trudeau, and it's the clearest video we have of a Stygiomedusa gigantea. It was taken 3,300 feet down just off the Gulf of Mexico and is pretty incredible. Take a look. Despite the rarity of the Stygiomedusa gigantea, it's thought they are abundant throughout the world's oceans, and since just over 100 have been spotted, who knows how big or small some of the ones out there could be. The basket star. The basket star is one of the weirdest looking creatures in this video. It's a complex and bizarre relative of the starfish and has a circular central body which has 5 to 7 arms protruding from it. Each arm then splits into several branchlets, all of which have their own movement, and they use these to form a meshy-like basket to catch their prey. Very little is known about them or their eating habits, although it's thought that the spines and hooks on its many arms, as well as a thick mucus, makes it impossible for prey to escape once they are lured in. The central part of the basket star's body is around 14 centimeters wide, but its multiple arms can be 5 times longer than this. They come in a variety of orangey red or white colours and can weigh up to 11 pounds, and these incredible creatures are thought to have the ability to regenerate and regrow arms if they are attacked or damaged, an ability we do not fully understand. The basket star usually lives around 1.2 miles deep, so is rarely seen or known of by humans, so you can just imagine the shock a Singaporean man had when he caught one of these creatures while on a fishing trip. Take a look at this. That really doesn't look real and looks like it was computer generated, but that's the basket star, a bizarre mass of tentacles that we know very little about. And to top things off, they also have the ability to clone themselves in what's called asexual reproduction. Basically, they can divide their body and regenerate that into another basket star. And if that doesn't show you the diversity and wonders of the ocean, then nothing will. The lamprey. Known as the vampire of the deep, the lamprey, despite its eel-like appearance, is in fact a 300 million year old jawless fish species and to put it simply, they look terrifying. Lampreys can grow to around 3 foot, and there are 38 known species of them, 18 of which are parasitic, meaning they latch onto other fish, bore into their flesh with their horrific looking mouth, and use their razor sharp teeth and rasping tongue to suck the blood out of their victim, keeping it liquid by having an anticoagulant property in their saliva. Because of this, they are considered a huge pest and a damage to the ecosystem. They do all of this in coastal waters and freshwater lakes, but also have the ability to travel long distances tolerating most water temperatures, and it's not uncommon to find them in large rivers like the Thames in London. A crazy fact, you may have seen lamprey pie being served in Game of Thrones, because during the Middle Ages, lampreys were part of the ancient Romans' diet and were widely eaten by the upper class throughout Europe. It's even said that King Henry I of England died as a result of eating too much lamprey, and in southwestern Europe, this creepy looking fish is still considered a delicacy. The water bear. This next creature is truly mind-blowing and rewrites everything scientists know about survival and life on Earth. It's the tardigrade, or water bear, a microscopic creature that has been labelled the toughest animal on the planet, and has even got NASA looking into how they are so tough, as this could help prove the existence of extraterrestrials and help with the human exploration of space. The water bear is a tiny creature about 0.1mm to 1.5mm in size, and 1,150 species have been documented since their discovery in 1773. They are usually found in the deep sea, but other variations have been found pretty much all over the world, even 20,000 feet up in the Himalayas, and there is fossil evidence that they have been around for 530 million years. So what is so fascinating about the tardigrade? What's fascinating is their ability to survive such harsh conditions like temperatures well above boiling point all the way to absolute zero, as well as intense pressure 5 times as punishing as the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, and even the ability to withstand being soaked in a dissolving chemical without dying. In an experiment conducted in 1983, moss samples from Antarctica were collected that contained water bears. The samples were frozen and kept, and over 30 years later the samples were defrosted. And remarkably, not only did 2 of the water bears get revived, but one even reproduced after 23 days and laid 19 eggs. Despite the water bear being found all over the world, all of the species are considered aquatic as they need water around their bodies, but they do not actually need to be in water or damp areas, as they can live for up to 10 years without a single drop by going into a kind of hibernation-like state. If that isn't impressive enough, the water bear can also withstand radiation levels equivalent to 4,000 the lethal human dose without showing any significant DNA damage. And in 2007, a sample of tardigrades was sent up in a satellite. Once it returned to Earth, many of them had survived and even laid eggs whilst unprotected in space. So how are they able to survive like this? Well, it's a mystery, but it seems they have evolved to overcome any life-threatening event that comes their way. And this opens up a whole list of possibilities for the future. Just imagine if humans could emulate some of the water bear's powers of resilience. But for now, the water bear can continue to show us that not only can life exist in the harshest places on Earth, but also in space. And that is something, until the tardigrade proved them wrong, scientists thought was impossible. So that's a handful of truly bizarre and weird looking sea creatures that show us that the ocean is home to more creatures all shapes and sizes than you could ever imagine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to go over to the new Top 5's website and sign up for a weekly email on the recent article submissions that I'm sure you'll all enjoy reading. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week for a super interesting paranormal video.